I don't really like filming in my garage because there's always people around and I feel like they can always hear me and they're always listening to me, but it sounds paranoid as fuck. But anyway, I've been making little adjustments to my 636 here. I got a new clutch lever. I've been boring the film, throwing that on because it's pretty easy. So new clutch lever because my old one over here was actually slipping. This one, the threads are broken right in this part where you adjust it. So every once in a while when I would pull my clutch, it would just go all the way in and then I wouldn't have any clutch at all. My left side fork seal was blown out, so I replaced it and put some new seal savers on there. And today I just got a new package from the SIG shop, so we're gonna open that one up and see what we got. So here's what we got. I ordered a new reservoir kit with the mounts for the forks, the little 15cc reservoirs, because I've been running just the regular big front brake stock ones, and I've been zip tying them on, so hopefully this will save us some zip ties. Won't have to do that anymore and just clamp it right on there. So that's what we're gonna do for this video, and bleed my brakes, make sure they're all working good. And really the main idea is just I want to declapify this bike. I've been cheaping out on it for a long time, so I'm trying to put the money in it that it deserves to actually get. So that's what I'm doing. There's gonna be a couple other things we get to this video, but I'm just gonna start with that. I guess we're not gonna need this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that off. We have to open them up anyway. Drain the fluid out. Say goodbye to these zip ties, hopefully for the last time. There we go. I'm gonna start with the front brake side, because I think that should be the easier one to do. We will see. Could be the harder one. All right, so I was gonna see if I could just open these all the way and get them, see if I can just put it around it, but I don't think you wanna do that with these since they are metal. And that's probably gonna put a crease in it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take the triple tree off and then put these on top. When you get the triple tree off, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take these bars off. Go. All right, let's get to the part that I've been avoiding. I gotta cut the zip tie off, pull this one off, and then reconnect the new line up there. So let's go ahead and do that. Better than risking breaking my master. There we go. Put it on there real good. I'm gonna throw a black zip tie on here just so it's as clean as I can possibly make it look. Angle it down so I make sure I don't ever kick it. Looking good. Now I just gotta add fluid to this side and bleed it. So So I got my brake fluid bleeding apparatus all hooked up. So let's go ahead and bleed it. Alright, that's gonna take forever, so I'm gonna go to my other idea. So we're gonna take this and just raise it so that all the fluid goes down. Alright, now that I realize there's a cap, I got the caps off, and then now we got this full of fluid. I made sure to get as much air out as I could as possible. So I'm just gonna bolt this back in and then start bleeding. We got one side all cleaned up, good to go. Now let's go ahead and do the handbrake side. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run it pretty regular like this. I was considering going through like maybe up here to the fork and back, but I don't really like how that looks. And then I was thinking maybe like a handlebar wrap or something, but it's a little too short for that. So I think the cleanest way would just be to run it straight up like that. So I think that's gonna be the move. And then for this side, I'm gonna work with some physics here, like I should have on the other side. Well, I guess I could have if I remembered to take the cap off, but I'm gonna fill this up as much as I can while holding this and let it fill up, get as much air out of it, and then I'll stick this on there with as much fluid in the line as possible already. We can even work this bubble, hopefully. So now I should be sucking in nothing but fluid when I bleed this brake. But the bad thing is that I'm using a 0304 I'm using an 0304 handbrake that's upside down. So it actually doesn't have a bleeder valve at all. So the way to bleed this one is you gotta bleed it through where the crush washers are. I kind of have a feeling I might not even have to bleed it since I got all the air out, but there's probably some air that got into there once I took the other side out. So I'm still gonna bleed it just to be safe. You don't want this thing fading on you while you're in a wheelie or something like that. And the only way to get this to be the high spot, since it's not really a good angle, but it's not exactly the high spot in the master. So the only way to do that is to lean the bike over. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, I definitely should have done it before and after with this one, but that's how we're looking now. I'm liking how it's looking. It's pretty clean. A lot cleaner than it used to be. Now I just got to figure out how I want to run this. So I don't think I'm going to film that. I think I'll probably just undo these again and run the zip tie into there. And so it'll be all snug. But that's all for that one. The only other thing I was going to try to fix right now is ever since I lost the center of my gas cap, I bought just the top piece. So not the whole thing, but just the cap. And it's always been leaking a little bit into my tank, obviously making it look ugly. So I finally got, I don't know how I didn't think this earlier, but I got some O-rings that should fit exactly at the bottom of this. Because the reason this leaks is because this top O-ring doesn't seat with the top right here. So one of these O-rings should fit at the bottom, and then this should compress against that to make a good seal. So I'm gonna throw an O-ring in there real quick. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna try to probably, because it's already getting late, I'm gonna try to probably pull this off and dent this tank in just a little bit more, because I think I can get another, if I dent the tank in just that little bit more and make sure I cut this flat, I think I could scoot it back and get probably another at least an inch on my stunt tank. And I think that'll help a lot for just doing tank tricks and how they feel. Not that it'll be like a cheat code or anything, but I think every little bit that you can count, because the more you get to the front, the top, the more like tippy your balance point is. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me throw an O-ring in there real quick, just show you guys what it looks like. All right, so never mind. Turns out the O-ring I picked that actually fits in there is too thick for the cap to actually go on. So what I think I'm gonna do right now is just actually shave down one of these sides of the O-ring so it's actually flatter, and it'll give me more space to put the cap on. So let me just grab my Dremel and run that real quick, since I don't think I can return these. I already opened it and they're pretty cheap anyway, so I can always just get new ones. But I think if I just grind it down that this will work. So that took a little bit longer than I even hoped, but we got it pretty flat on one side, and it actually came out better than I even expected. Because now we just twist this on. It's got a tight seal right there, and we got this facing the right way. So hopefully that'll solve my problem of my tank leaking. I mean, now we for sure have a tight seal, so it should solve the issue, but we won't know for sure until we hit the lot.